$5,000. That's how much I paid for this Pokemon binder. We're going to go through it. Let's see if we lost. Let's see if we lost money. Let's see what's inside. I actually want to see what's inside. Trading card portfolio. First page. Absolute juice. We got the Karen's Umbreon from the VS set. Espeon Talano map. A few more VS cards. VS side deck cards. We got Mysterious Mountain cards and all the other Split Earth and other E-Series sets. Ooh. Second page. Got some JR Rally promos. Pichu Bros from the movie. That's awesome. I love Pichu Bros. They're so cool. Because they're two bros and they're both Pichus. We've got the Trainer Mag promos down the bottom. I've looked at already 2 cards. So I already looked at this Gengar. And I looked at the Karen's Umbreon, so that's why they're in a different sleeve. Everything else, he had colored sleeves. So if you want to see this Gengar, look at that swirl. Wow, that's awesome. So yeah, 5,000 Australian was how much was paid. Then, there was some bulk and stuff that came with it. And I did that another mail day, but show off the binder here. So this Gengar's looking pretty clean. See a little bit of a thing in the corner. This is a complete blind buy. It's not really smart to do stuff like this. It's much better to do calculated purchases and, buy things that you think are good and not just like buy huge lots. And I always tell you not to do it, but then I'm doing it. So it's kind of just ironic, right? So we've got this Mew Expedition, Web Articuno, some more VS holos here and there. To be honest, with this binder itself, I personally don't think it's worth paying $5,000 for it. I'm going to be honest. So don't tell Steve that I said that about him. But, together with all the bulk, and now I can split up the bulk and sell it for a few dollars per card over time. In roughly, 12 months, I'll be looking to get my money back on a purchase like this. And maybe, just maybe, E-Series cards, they have the new back. So, they have the new Pokemon style back. They're a little bit more resilient. They're not usually in that bad of condition because they came out after all the old ones and people learn how to sleeve them and put them in trading card portfolios like this. But as you know, it doesn't always work out. So a few more awesome pages. Got the Town on No Map Psyducks there. A few more holos there. Some McDonald's promos. Some web cards. A few more VS cards. And that's it. Not much, really. Not 5 bands doesn't get you much these days. I call it bands because I'm trying to be cool. So we got the Karen's Umbreon. I did have a little bit of a look at it, but it's got a bit of edge at the top. Overall, pretty damn good condition. I'm not expecting much with any of these, so now that I've shown what's in the binder, you can dislike the video and click off, but I'm going to go down nice and close. But we're going to de-sleeve everything, and we'll talk for a while, and I'll show you the process and how stuff like this makes sense for someone like me to buy, and depending on the financial situation and how fast you want the money back and everything. We'll get into a little bit of finance side, but while I de-sleeve these, this is the worst part. To be honest, I hate doing this. It's like, it's so bad. But we'll get all the good cards out at least. Good cards. I mean, they're all great, but cards that people want to see. Won't pull out. I hate these sleeves where you got to pull them from the back, so I don't even know which one I'm taking out. Got to use a little bit of force too. These are kind of stuck in there. He had a very great choice of sleeves. It's not every day you see someone using so many different colors, but maybe there was a reason for that. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe you play with them a little bit, or maybe they did this or they did that. Who knows? I love buying old collections because everyone collects differently, and it's just cool to see. So we'll pull out this Wob. This is probably going to be a long one because it's going to take me a while to unsleeve cards and talk about them and see how we go. But that's the suspense, right? That's what you guys pay for. You guys pay for this crazy good content. So obviously you want to see what they look like. This is going to be pretty silly. I hope these sheets aren't reflective because I'm completely naked. So if you see anything you don't want to see, I'm really sorry. But it's a pretty hot day today. Beedrill Holo. I'm not going to show the wheezing. Oh, I will show the wheezing for the wheezing fans. Wheezing. So how are you going? I'm going pretty well. Just going through some mail, catching up with some things. normal everyday thing. If you watched some of my recent videos, maybe you checked out like my whiteboard video on auction or buy now. I think I really like that video, to be honest. That's the kind of content I want to move forward into. I want to just make a lot of educational stuff, not just like showing off things that I buy and showing off returns. That's going to be cool, but it's not the main drive for my ideas. I do actually want to help people, but I do speak about some things in my videos like these ones where I talk about things and I give reasons of why I do certain things, and sometimes I just do things because I'm just stupid. This town on No Map Psyduck is like really expensive for some reason, like $500 in a 10. It's probably one of the most like steadily selling cards I've ever seen as like a non-holo card. It kind of like sparked a big non-holo wave of like grading these cards and getting them in Gem Mint, because there are people who want these, and people don't just want the holo cards. A lot of people just graded holos over the time, and they just like threw the non-holos in the trash. Or this Magnum Ton artwork is amazing. Of course, that's signed. Oh my god, it's hard to pull these out. Nothing here. Nothing really too special there. Just some McDonald's promos. We'll take those out another time. So let's go down. Hope that's not too loud for you guys. Sit in the chair, makes a lot of noise. I'm not going to do any editing. I'm really sorry. Get the light really close. Oh yeah, that's nice. Move this closer to me. Let's get nice, close, and personal. Oh, I hope you can. If you heard that, it's my cat meowing in the back. That's kind of funny. All right. Wow, look at this, Karen's Umbreon. Oh, there is a pretty nasty scratch on the front. I'm still going to grade this card regardless, because this is a rather expensive card. But I'm sorry if you can hear construction noises too. I'm not sure if you can, but so we've got some scratches here, and we've got a scratch on the surface. So I estimate this probably to be around a 7. Nothing major, a tiny little dent there, but is what it is. These kind of purchases, they just take a long time to get the money back. And it's more for like just buying stuff just to like go through it and then recycle. It's not what you should try to do personally. If you are buying with the intention of reselling, you should try to like take less gambles, but maybe I pick some things up here that are pretty good. And E-Series cards go pretty well in my single store. And my single store is called Kimmy's Cards. I always kind of forget to mention it. Maybe I'll link it down. Oh, this one's like a full holo bleed. Wow, that's pretty nice. Maybe I'll link it down the bottom somewhere. But I'm always kind of like, I'm like against that, like it's weird. Like I shouldn't be, because it's my own stores, but I didn't make the channel to like push my stuff to sell to people. I always figured if people want to buy my stuff, they would have found it on eBay to buy it. Like I don't really need to do that. Maybe I'm just naive. Maybe I should, take advantage of every sales channel and push. But sometimes for me, because the way my life is and the way I am, everything I usually do is to like revolves around my eBay store and my like stuff like that. So it's nice to have one thing that doesn't revolve around just selling on my store. It's like nice to keep even though the YouTube I show stuff off. This is a nice Hollow Bleed King too. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can probably see it. I think I captured it right there. You can see right there, there's a little hollow. Wow. It doesn't show up much because it's orange. Well, that's not too bad condition. It's about light plate. But yeah, it's nice just to have the YouTube. It's just me, it's just Steve showing it off, not forcing anything down people. If I ever do make a video that's like me trying to sell something or me trying to show it off, I'll probably be as most transparent as I can. I have done that in the past, when I have rare items for sale, but those ones are more like documenting the card on the channel and then also showing, kind of just like showing the condition to people easily on like 4K video. It's much better than just like a photo through email or something like that. So these other E-Series cards aren't too bad. About light played at best. Looks like they might have been played with while they're in their double sleeve. So it's got tiny little nicks and dents here and there. These cards, you can't really ever expect to get something like this gem mint, but you know, I have been lucky in the past to get cards like this in good conditions. And I wish I just had the YouTube channel back in the day when I was buying stuff just like this for much less and it was obtainable and I didn't have to spend so much to get similar things. It just would have been the amount of quantity that you could buy in like 2018, 2019 of this kind of stuff. It was just like near infinite at like gem mint conditions. And it's just wild that it's all pretty much disappeared for like on the Japanese side. It's very rare that you'll find any like sort of deal, I guess, buying from Japan. You know, it's all like market price or higher. You have to be like one step ahead or you have to get really lucky. But that's perfectly fine. For alligator, oh, look at that. It's pretty nice condition. That is good. Oh, it's got a line there. Man, you bozo. Got the double swell. Oh, this is nice. Crabby. Got Kingler, I guess. This is kind of fresh. Oh, what is that? It's like humidity stuck something to the card. Can't peel that off. Damn. Probably near mint still, to be honest, but that's sad. Hope you're going well. You know, with 11 minutes in, it's very it's I don't know what to say, to be honest. We get this far in, I'm just looking at the cards. I'm trying to soak the cards in. Look at that holo pattern. It's just unreal, these E-Series cards. Unreal. But once I'm done, I think the purchase makes a lot more sense once you see all the bulk I got. I got like 500-ish bulk E-Series cards. When you break those down and you sell them for like $5 each on average over time, it makes it a lot easier to buy the expensive stuff. Oh, this one was so close. This is probably a PSA 9 on this card. Ampharos. Wow, I love this artwork. Nishida Ampharos. Look at the Vileplume. Miki Tanaka. Oh, took both sleeves off. Yeah, about. So none of these cards are really bad. Most of these are, if I was selling them on my store, I would just call them played. Because, you know, they have like tiny little scratches here and there. Little bits of edge wear here and there. None of this is really, I wouldn't personally call a lot of it near mint, but it definitely could be worse. Definitely could be worse. Ariados. Let's have a look here. Ooh. This card looks clean. Except the colors on it, they're just so nice. They're so vibrant. I don't know why. So much darker than this one next to it. You see how much darker that is? Kind of on the green on the top right. Maybe it's just me. Betrayal. I'm going crazy. If you're still here, you're probably thinking, what the hell is wrong with this guy? This is really... I'm listening to this guy for advice. I'm paying this guy. We're paying this guy. Victory Bell. Not bad condition. I mean, that's PSA 9 maybe. This one I'll probably sell as near mint. I think the low grade E-Series holos don't have that much of a reasoning to grade them. I think people are still collecting binder sets of these, so there's no like that bad of a reason to just sell them as played or near mint. You don't have to sell these as like 5 or 6s or whatever, because it's kind of just like a waste of time. Oh, this Crobat is not holo. Houndoom. This one could be good. So much holo in this. Oh, just got a little bit of something wrong with it down the bottom there. You see that little nick of the thing, but this could still fetch an 8. It's not bad. It's not terrible condition, you know, from my point of view anyway. Could be worse. I love this Dragonite. It's so good. It's one of the best. Oh, another one. That's played. Crobat. So many Crobats. You get so many in this one. Pretty good. This is like a PSA 9 as well. I'd probably be more excited about this purchase if it was cheaper, but you know, I kind of bid a little bit more than I wanted. I just like having stock. You know, I like having cards available to sell. Cards that not many other people have. Even at the detriment to my own bank account most of the time. Oh, this one's played. There's all the good stuff. I'll do a good stuff breakdown at the end. See how many good stuff cards we got. And then once I break that down, and you can figure out, well, that's why you bought that, but I just need to sleeve all the cards first. There's a lot of work that goes into like, oh, this is one of the good cards. There's a lot of work that goes into breaking down these binders and listing them as singles and condition checking them and all this other stuff. And I'm sure I'll get questions like, where do you source stuff like this? I mean, if you're still watching and you want to know where I source stuff, I just buy from secondhand markets. You know, it's a lot of secondhand markets around the world. You know, eBay is a secondhand market. Facebook has secondhand marketplaces. You know, Craigslist, and all you have to do is just find secondhand markets in certain areas of the world. Yeah, sometimes the best deals in the world will be in your backyard, and you'll never know because that person will never post it on a marketplace that you are on. So it's a really good idea to go to as many secondhand marketplaces as possible. I regularly buy from like 10 different secondhand marketplaces. You know, all the ones that I mentioned. So, except I haven't bought from Craigslist in a while. Usually only buy from Craigslist. I haven't really searched that much anymore. I used to buy a lot of English cards, but I did search, and I would send like American friends that live near those areas to like go check those things out. So look at the Gengar. It's pretty rough. Still a very desirable card because it is a Gengar. Slowpoke. McDonald's. It's good that people will be able to enjoy these cards and I won't have to grade them and they can just go to my singles straight up. Chikorita. So, I got a few more. Oh my god. We're already 17 minutes in. No one's watching the video still. Pichu. JR Rally cards are always damaged. I'm not even going to look because I've bought so many. Like, I can't even explain to you. Probably like 20 to 30 sets. And I don't think I've ever got a set that was like in good condition. They're always bent. And there are reasons for that, like distribution and all these other things and the way they're given out and whatever else, but it still doesn't remove salt from the wound. So these trainer mags are usually in good condition, and this Slowpoke definitely is good. That's best condition so far. Sold a lot of these before. The Slowking, not looking that amazing. It does have a little bit of a dent kind of thing in there, but oh, if this Lugia is really nice condition, I'll be happy. So far, so good. Oh, it's a bit of ay. What am I just dropped the card, but it's like bent on the top. Sad. That's how it is. Mewtwo is creased. Yep. And oh, that was Slowbro before. This one's Slowking. My brain is slow. Yeah, this one's damaged as well. Well, Pichu Bros. I think this is a movie promo. It might be. Might not be. Who knows? Maybe you just get it from existing. We have the Flareon. A little bit of a dent in the middle there. Sad. Lots of dents. That is played. This one is basically damaged for this Scourge Vaporeon. Split Earth Jolteon. Ooh, looking at borderline near mid. Borderline near mid, that's not too bad. Yeah, I'm really bad at making these videos exciting. I'm sorry. I'm having fun. So that's, if you care about my feelings. Don't really know why I re-sleeved these. I'll have to unsleeve them again in the future. So that's very silly of me. I think we'll just take the rest out. So there's a lot of cards we've gone through. I think there's around 80 or so. And we'll do some quick math at the end here just to figure out. So the rest of the cards in those binder, in the binder, I'm probably going to estimate they're roughly around $300. And the rest of the cards I received that I haven't shown is just a whole bunch of bulk, like E-Series cards. That's probably, I could probably sell those for like $1,500, over time, listing them $3 to $5 each. So we'll take off $1,800 from the price. I actually think the true price paid for everything was like 6,000 Australian dollars. So we'll take all those off. And we're left with around 4,200. And after all that, this is super rough figures too. So it might be more, it might be less. Don't crucify me. I think these Psyducks probably don't deserve to be in here for like this calculation, but they might be desirable as single cards. I can't remember last one I sold. None of these are gem before like I shuffle these around. Let me just double check. No, they're all not too bad. This is alright. Even the non-holo Psyducks are not too great. That's great. Okay. These are our cards, right? So we'll just count them real quick. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll do this on sleeve cards. So there's about 13 of those. Quickest way to count your cards is you just make stacks. So this is a stack of 20. This is what I do. This is how you average things out. Stack of 20, stack of 20. There's a Holy Bleed Victory Bell. Well, same as the other one. Pretty common with these series cards, I feel like, but okay. So we got around 60 cards here, and I think there's 12 here. 12. So overall, you're looking at 72 cards. So 4,800 divided by 72. Is that where we're at? 4,800? No, 4,200 divided by 72. What is that? That's like $70 or something? Something like that. It's a little bit difficult because we added like the really good cards in. So sometimes when you make those calculations, you take out Karen's Umbra and you take out Gengar, and you go through, you take out any other big heavy hitters that you could probably sell for more than like $200. I'm not sure what else there was, but some of the JR rallies maybe, or maybe like Squirtle, McDonald's, and this Gengar and the Slowpokes and stuff like that. So these can probably take another like 1,200 off these four here. And then we get down to like 3,000. And then you average it out and you're like, okay, then we got 68 cards that we paid 3,000 for, and probably averages around to like $40 a card. Is that right? 68, 40. Give or take. Something like that. I think so. Like $45. You could probably take a few more cards out to average down, but it's a gamble, right? So, you're looking to lose at a minimum. If you don't grade any cards, you'll probably lose if there's no gradable cards. But, the whole thing changes if you get a Karen's Umbreon that's like mint condition that gets a 9 or a 10. And the whole thing changes if you get the Gengar that can get a 9 or a 10. But that's kind of what you're gambling for. So usually I wouldn't buy things like this, even though this did cost me like several thousand, like 5, 6. That's a very small part of my expenditure for like the amount of stuff I buy and what I'm paying stuff for. Like, I'll put around 10% of like my funds that I spend on average per year to like kind of bulk lots like this and gambling things. Most of the money that I spend is like I find cards, I think of cards that are really good and cards that are kind of a little bit underrated maybe, or cards that I just, they sell for a lot in tens and you can still buy them a little bit less raw and stuff. Or I just like buy already graded cards and just sell them for a little bit more because some people just price their stuff a little bit too low. So overall, this purchase, I can't remember what was in the bulk, and I don't really know how much those E-Series bulk cards sell for on average, just because I don't do the single card listings, but I'd say this was, at a minimum, just a break even. But it's not too bad, puts my store out there. I'll get like 400 more listings out of this, and all you have to do is just process all the listings, get all the cards up, and that just reaches more and more people. Maybe someone wants to buy my Kingdra, but because they bought the Kingdra, they'll buy something else from my store. So it's not too bad having some cards you break completely even on, because someone will find the card that you have. This is so nice, by the way. This is such a nice condition. The front is like so, it's great. But does that make sense? So sometimes you have to make a little bit of you can buy the stuff that's more desirable and afford to lose less. To lose on it, I guess. Afford to lose on it. Because they might buy like the Larvitar McDonald's from you, but they'll pick something else up from your store that you previously had. So replenishing new stock and getting stuff that not many other people have listed is worth it, but it can't always be the game plan, because eventually, if you're trying to buy and sell, or maybe you wanted to buy something like this and you wanted to keep like the 2 Gengar cards and the Karen's Umbreon for your collection, maybe that's what I even should do, just like keep these for myself, and I can sell everything and try and break even. That's also a thing you can do. It's just, you got to understand that to sell your other cards, sometimes you might need to offer some good cards or some new cards that are good that not many other people have. But it is expensive to do stuff like this, and I probably wouldn't usually. It's just not that great of an idea to buy huge collections, in my personal opinion. I think trying to collect and enjoy, and then you find cards you really enjoy and you buy a few copies of, and you figure out like the exact market price, and then you figure out how much they sell for, and you just figure out a bunch of things. And if something sells for $100 religiously and you found one for like 70 and you collect it, I think that's the kind of stuff you can like pick up and gain value that way. Sometimes it's not the best like gain value in trying to sell, because you might run into money issues just sort of buying a lot of things that are just going to lose. So overall, that's my copium way of describing how I do something like this. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day.